today's show, we take you to Indy for some McKay mic'd up March Madness, and cross-country runner Adeline Ackley finds success at Nationals.
Plus, we take a look at field hockey's impressive win over UConn. We introduce you to their new star and check in with LU spring ball on the gridiron. This is Flame Central.
Hoops, football, baseball, cross-country, field hockey. You tuned in for the action, and we have it. Welcome to Flame Central. I'm Emily Austin alongside Rhett the Threat. All the sports are happening, and Rhett, most are finding success around campus.
Yeah, it feels like every week we're talking about a new Flames program that's creating history, and that's no different today.
We'll get to history in just a moment, but first, let's talk March Madness. The LU basketball team is in Indianapolis for the NCAA tournament as they face Oklahoma State in the first round. As the Flames prepare for the Cowboys, we thought you'd like to see an inside look of tourney prep through the eyes of Coach McKay.
You got some J's on today. You got some J's on.
Yeah.
Dang, man.
I was trying to give him the keys, but he didn't want to
Dang, I mean, dang. Justin's good to you. He's good to you. Can you ask him if I can get a loan? Huh? You know what's gonna happen, right? You know what's gonna happen, right? You sure? Because Amelia's gonna hear this. Oh, you ain't talking today? Oh, my fault. It's 9:44. It's too early, man. What time you start talking? 10:30, 11? Oh, you're gonna talk today? Yeah. When? When? Oh, you just did? Okay. Hey! And I want to hear your voice. I want to hear your voices, okay? Drake, I want to hear you. Here we go. Good. Patience, Blake. Patience. Spacing. No. You got this.
What's more important, the idea or the creation?
The creation. Good, Chris. Good, Chris. Here we go. Let's be about the details. It's doing common things uncommonly well.
Love to see that jokester side of Coach McKay. For men's basketball, it's almost expected that Flames will win the ASUN championship and get a bid for the NCAA tournament season in and out. I mean, they've done it for 3 straight seasons, but Flames basketball analyst Paul Nazigan reminds us on this week's Flames Central podcast how rare it is to accomplish what Liberty has, and also puts their success into perspective.
As of Sunday morning, there were 21 one seeds that lost in their conference tournaments.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Right? Yeah. And many of them were one-bid leagues. And those teams were not going to the NCAA tournament. Like, you cannot understate it, what an incredible run it has been. It is going on still.
Well, to listen to more of our March Madness coverage, be sure to download the Flames Central podcast. Paul Nazigan breaks down Liberty's chances and speaks on where the Flames may have an advantage. Also, Emily provides tips on the advantages of a 5-day weekend. She's good at those. Be sure to download the Flames Central podcast on Apple, Spotify, Google, anywhere you listen to your podcasts. We will be there. Well, staying on the hardwood, the Lady Flames were looking to punch their ticket to the tourney. Coming off a solid showing against North Florida in the semis, Liberty would set their sights on FGCU. 22nd conference title game in 25 years for the Lady Flames. This one at the KSU Convention Center. It'd be a tough go versus the Eagles. It was back and forth. 5:49 left in the second quarter, and Maya Berkman with the putback to pull Liberty back to within 5. Moments later, though, Stanley and Seneca Hackley with back-to-back triples to start a 15-2 FGCU run. By the time Bell hit 2 free throws in the final minute of the half, the Eagles were up 44-26. In the fourth quarter, Lytle would continue to battle until the bitter end, scoring 8 points in the frame. However, it would not be enough. The Lady Flames failed to make their 18th trip to the big dance and finished the season with a 19-8 record.
Switching gears, spring football continues on the mountain. As you may know, the Flames have a number of returners coming back this season, which has caused it to be an odd spring for head coach Hugh Freeze. He said at practice this week that typically he's very physical during spring ball, ready for the guys to start tackling, but thought it was foolish to do that this year because he already knows what these older players can do. So the focus continues to be on those 2s and 3s. Despite the different feel of spring ball this season, Coach explains the team's progress up to this point.
Through 7 days, I'm fairly pleased. I think we've improved ourselves, in particular in the secondary. I think we run better, more physical there. Still got a ways to go with the linebacker room, but I like the young kids. We just gotta bring them along. So pleased to this point.
Let's head to the Diamond, where the Liberty Flames pitching staff had been putting in some serious work. Get this, in the 3-game series versus North Alabama, Liberty pitchers would allow no runs, only 5 hits. Those are some serious numbers, and they look to continue that against the North Carolina Tar Heels at home. Bit of a chilly evening for baseball, but that wouldn't cool off the Liberty Flames bats. They'd get after it quick. In the first, Betts on base, Wagner would fly out, cashing in the Flames' first run, making it 1-0 LU. Flames would tack on 2 more in the second. Wilson would fly out, scoring in Bulikowski, followed by McDyer scoring on a wild pitch. 4-0 Flames. In the top of the fourth, Soretti would send one over the wall, bringing UNC back to within 2, and then Causey with the RBI double, bringing home Frick to make it 4-3. In the bottom of the 6th, Anderson would double. That would bring home Betts to make it 6-3, and then back to the 8th, score 6-4. Locklear with the single, driving in 2 runs to make it 8-4, and that would be it. The bullpen would hold the Tar Heels in check over the final 5 1/3 innings, pushing Liberty past the number 14 Tar Heels, winning their 9th straight game. Well, the ladies also putting in some work. They'd be a part of the Oklahoma Hall of Fame Classic, where they competed against 2 of the top teams in the nation. Liberty would just barely fall to number 1 Oklahoma before getting run-ruled in the next game. Autumn Bishop would have a great weekend overall at the plate, driving in 5 RBI. They'd finish the Classic 1-4.
You know, Rhett, the beauty about softball, you have another game right around the corner. And for the Lady Flames, that was against another ranked opponent, number 13 Arkansas. Not much offense in this one. Credit to Lady Flames pitcher Emily Kirby, who threw a 10-inning, 5-hit shutout, her 3rd shutout of the season. She also struck out 8. No score as we head to extras. In the 10th, Liberty pinch hitter Danae Griffin with a runner on, and she delivers with this shot. Good for the 2-run homer. The Lady Flames end Arkansas's 19-game win streak. They will return to Lynchburg to open ASUN play against conference newcomer Bellarmine for a weekend series. All right, so there are birds chirping, and I'm not sure it's because spring is here, because this little bird told me that the LU field hockey team might have a shot at the national title. Yes, the Lady Flames dropped its first game against UConn by just a goal, but they had a chance to get revenge the very next day. UConn came out hot, out shooting Liberty 6-1, but Joe Bolton said, enough is enough. She found the back of the net for her 8th and 9th goals of the season. Freshman goalkeeper, Brett, who is she?
Azula City Idiosian
Is an absolute stud. She had a career best 12 saves, good for her 3rd shutout of the season. She went on to be named the Big East Defensive Player of the Week for the 3rd straight week. Lady Flames take this one 4-zip. The win marked Liberty's first ever victory over UConn. Following the shutout, the Lady Flames received some high praise in the first national coaches poll of the season, securing that number 5 spot, the highest national ranking of any team in school history. Right? No other LU program has ever ranked top 5 at the NCAA Division I level. Up next, the Lady Flames will face number 12 Duke on the road on Sunday for a top 20 showdown.
Let's talk a little bit more history here. Kieran Vincent is one of 15 golfers in the nation who has been named to the 2021 Fred Haskins Award watch list. The award is given to the most outstanding men's college golfer in the country, as voted on by the players, coaches, and members of the media. Vincent is the first Liberty player in program history to be named to the Fred Haskins Award watch list. This comes in the midst of his best season as a Flame, currently leading the team with a 69.75 season stroke average. Coming up, history was made by the women's cross-country team, and we bring you another warm, hot, and fuego.
And there's a new app you might want to download. We'll be right back. You're watching Flame Central.
Welcome to Liberty University's online programs, where living out your calling with integrity is what you train to do, And getting ready for the future doesn't mean missing out on the now. Because a university is more than buildings and books, and an education should set you free, not fence you in. Welcome to Liberty's global campus, where distance learning was pioneered and evolved into one of the top-ranked schools in the nation. Where protecting your budget, your time, and your education isn't just a theory, it's our priority. Here, degrees in your field reflect industry demands and help get you ahead of the competition. Where college comes to you, but you can come to college too. Game day, homecoming, graduation day, your school, your values, your experience, your choice. Welcome to Liberty University, where we train champions for Christ.
Behind every great leader, change maker, and essential worker is a teacher. Though teaching today may mean inspiring students from home, at Liberty University, we've been inspiring students from home for over 30 years. Earn your Bachelor of Education degree 100% online and graduate, prepare for licensure and classroom ready, wherever that classroom may be. So the leaders, change makers, and essential workers of tomorrow can be inspired by you.
Liberty University School of Law has risen to recognition by holding a top 10 spot in American Bar Association competitions for 3 consecutive years and placed 3rd in the nation in 2019. Our graduates achieved a 92% overall bar pass rate among first-time takers in 2019 and a 94% employment rate for the class of 2019. Prepare to make a difference at Liberty University School of Law. Service, integrity, honor. You lead your career with these virtues. Now lead your field with the degree you want at a price you've earned. Maximize your benefits at Liberty University and pay just $250 per hour for undergraduate or $275 to $300 per hour for graduate and doctoral degrees. For over 30 years, Liberty has supported military families by offering low tuition and generous benefits, because integrity to us means honoring your service, now and always.
Welcome back to Flames Central. Women's cross country made history after being selected to compete as a team in its first ever NCAA cross country championship. On Monday, the Lady Flames took the line at the hilly course in Stillwater, Oklahoma, and posted a 26th place finish in the 6K competition. Superstar Adeline Ackley finished 66th, while Callie Doan took 85th. Ackley's 66th place finish was the second best showing ever by an ASUN conference member and the third best by Lady Flame. Such an accomplishment for her. Head coach Lance Bingham on his team's historic season.
For the first time, our women were there, and they not only did they go and compete, but they competed very well. And I think it really makes a statement for our program going forward, knowing that we have all these young ladies coming back in the future. This is really a big factor in recruiting as we go forward. It's establishing ourselves at the national level.
Well, staying on the course, it's safe to say running runs in the family for Adeline Ackley. Her love for the sport and God-given talent has led her to high levels of success at LU. In this feature from a couple years back, we see how God guided her out of her comfort zone and reflect on her goals with Liberty Cross Country.
Oh, I love running on the trails. Ever since I was young, I would just, as soon as I'm done with school, I'd be out in the woods, just exploring all the time. I'm Adeline Ackley, and I run for the cross country and track teams. So I've come from a running family, and all of our cousins and our aunts, our uncles, my parents, we all run together. A lot of days we'll all meet up and just go on long runs together. It's really fun. It's like our own team. So my parents, they both went to Cornerstone University, and they were both cross country and track runners. My dad was an All-American for NAIA. A lot of the times when I'm just out in nature and running on the trails, I like to talk to God, bring glory to Him through even worship. Sometimes I listen to music while I run, and it's just a nice time just between God and I. So when I was in high school, I always wanted to go and run for college because I love running and I just want to continue my career. A lot of the schools would send me recruit letters, they would call me, they would email me, and just all different letters from across the country. I grew up always wanting to stay in Michigan, I didn't even want to look at colleges that were outside of Michigan. I was really close with my family, planning on staying in the area. I ended up going and visiting Liberty, and I just had the mindset like, no way, I'm never going here. It's way too far. It's 13 hours away. But that really took a turn when God just kept pointing me in that direction, like, you need to go to Liberty. There were like several circumstances where I was just like, oh my gosh, he's pointing me to Liberty. It came down to Sunday night. I had to make a decision which college I was going to go to. I had it narrowed down to 2. I prayed and I asked God, just like, show me through the service today, like where you want me to go, because I'm still like really torn. And when I went to church, it was about stepping outside of your boundaries and outside of your comfort zone. And I was like, oh man, that's Liberty for me, because I want to stay in the area of Michigan, and going out outside of that is taking a huge leap of faith. My goals this year are to make it to nationals, but in the overall, like when I graduate, I'd like to bring the team to national level and just be able to be the first team in Liberty that makes it to nationals. It's going to take a lot of focus, a lot of sacrifice, and discipline to be able to get to those goals.
Great piece done by Jonah Jabor. It's really cool to look back on these features because her goals were met this year at the NCAA Cross Country Championship. So really, really neat. Okay, our next segment, Rhett comes in and talks about the top 3 plays, moments, or events of the week. And it's warm, hot, and fuego. We start things off with warm. And I have a feeling that the theme this week is going to be food related.
Yeah, themes are tough sometimes. I hope you guys out there kind of feel that along with me.
Can appreciate how difficult it is.
Yeah, it's difficult to come up with a new theme. So I thought maybe, warm, going with a food warm. You want a warm chocolate chip cookie, because if it's hot, the chocolate burns your mouth. And if it gets too hot, obviously it burns if it's in fuego. So a burnt chocolate chip cookie, no good. Anyways, getting to the player now. Caleb Britton on the men's lacrosse team here. 4 goals in his last game against Walsh. Now, the men's lacrosse team has been doing some damage. They have knocked off 3 NCAA teams. This is a club sport here at Liberty, a very good one. The MCLA is a great league, but they knocked off an NCAA Division II team. He's going in 4 goals, not easy goals either. You see they're taking a little bit of abuse. This was a nice passing play, shows off the hands to tuck it up in the top corner. Great job by Caleb Britton, and it looks like a year where the men's lacrosse team might be inching away, scratching at a national championship.
Chocolate chip cookies can't be beat. Okay, from warm we go to hot. What's caliente?
Hot pizza. You need a hot pizza. Warm,
of course.
It's okay. In fuego, the cheese burns your mouth. That's no good. That's one of my, when you get that burnt tongue?
For a week,
I hate it. Absolutely hate it. But hot, and this is Azul Arit City Idioshin. She is a stud. Everybody's talking about her. The freshman coming in from Argentina, playing goal for the field hockey team. Biggest shutout in the history of the program. And you feel like this win over UConn, like, as we said, number 5 in the nation right now, right, Emily? Get pumped up with me.
I am pumped up. Azul Arit City of the Ocean.
There you go. This feels like one of those wins for the program that gets you over the hump. And if they won a national title this spring, it wouldn't surprise me after this victory over UConn.
Some bold predictions, and with their success, that doesn't surprise me for those predictions. Okay, we wrap things up with En Fuego. I was about to say Caliente again, but we're going to end on En Fuego. Who is our athlete or play?
Okay, Emily Kirby, in that performance she had against Arkansas.
Women's softball.
But En Fuego, you need En Fuego chicken wings. Like, you need those things just burning, like so hot, they make you sweat. Yes.
I don't know if I'm better with
what
the
do you
medium.
know? You're skinny. All right, so let's talk about this. En Fuego chicken wings, 4th career shutty for this young lady, 8 strikeouts. I saw in her last start too. She has been dialed in here as of late. 4 walks, 5 hits in this game, over 160 pitches to stay that focused that long against one of the best home run hitting teams in the nation. That was a huge performance by her, and I love her Twitter handle, Kick It to the Curb.
What a great, catchy name. All right, thanks, Brad. Coming up next, we see what some Liberty student athletes have been up to off the field.
In 1776, one of the most important documents in our nation's history was penned by one of Virginia's most famous residents. Throughout the next 200 years, the importance of Central Virginia was deeply woven into the tapestry of our nation's history. Liberty University is blessed to be built upon these same historic grounds, furthering the Christian tradition of our founding fathers and training young men and women of character and of calling. At Liberty, you're welcomed into a community rich with history, and we invite you to explore our campus in Central Virginia to discover more than just the surface level. Building upon the tapestry of history, we strive for greatness, humble to be at the heart of where the country began.
Times are changing. At Liberty, we've made it our priority to grow, to learn, to improve. But even with all the change, our purpose remains. We want to equip people to go make a difference through their calling in their communities around the world. And though we are blessed with an amazing campus, our most valuable resource has always been the people, our students, and those who inspire them. It's the people who serve, maintain, support. It's you.
What's really important? Not the buildings, not the mountain, not the property, but the young people who use these buildings, who study in these facilities. They are important.
No matter what the future holds, we will stay focused on our goal. And the people of Liberty University are how we will continue to carry out our mission. They are the ones who empower us to
Training champions for Christ.
Champions for Christ.
Training champions for Christ.
Hey friends, welcome back. Despite the challenges COVID-19 has presented, Liberty student athletes still made their annual Hop on Pop Day happen.
That's right. The Flames collected 3,400 children's books to deliver to local elementary schools and read them Green Eggs and Ham by Dr. Seuss virtually. Take a look.
A book in the hands of a child can have an incredible impact, and Liberty athletes are making sure kids around the Lynchburg area are provided with that opportunity. Hop on Pop is a program named after the late father of Liberty Senior Associate Athletics Director for Academic Affairs, Christy Bites. It began 5 years ago when LU lacrosse coach Kelly Nangle saw an unusual request at the funeral of Pop Bites.
We read his obituary and it said, in lieu of flowers, donate a book to the local library or something. And at first I thought that's a really cool thing. And so we kind of talked about it and we're like, let's just get a bunch of books and donate them. And that was a little idea, and then we got her staff involved. That made it a big idea, which is pretty cool.
That idea has turned into an annual competition among Liberty teams, each competing to see who can gather the most books to donate to area schools.
We have like a golden book, so the winner each year gets that book. So yes, they compete because they want the golden book, but they even more, they want to work together and to serve.
Competition with a greater purpose.
I think it's so cool that through Hop on Pop, we're able to inspire kids to start at a young age, dive into some books, and kind of glean that knowledge so that as they grow up and become maybe college athletes one day, they'll stick onto that and love books and love reading.
And Pop's passion for reading will live on with each donated book.
They had a little label inside the book, and that's just really cool. That that little moment could change a kid's life, you know, because they have the opportunity to read a book and to learn and to be interested in learning, and that could completely change the trajectory. And then to have Miss Bites' dad's name on the book is just really cool. So that his name is everywhere. These books are everywhere in the community, and they will be, you know, forever probably. So it's really special.
Normally, after gathering and delivering the books, Liberty athletes would then read to the kids. But with COVID-19 making in-school visits an impossibility, this year, the Flames got creative.
My name is Malik Willis. I play football for the Liberty Flames.
Hi, I'm Darby Brennan, and I'm on the Liberty field hockey team, and today we're gonna read Green Eggs and Ham. I am Sam. I am Sam.
I do not like that Sam I am.
Do you like green eggs and ham? I do not like them, Sam I am. I do not like green eggs and ham.
With over 3,500 books donated just this year, along with the reading videos, Flames athletes have continued to find a way to share their love of reading, while also realizing the unique platform that they've been given.
It is really special to just see them realize the opportunities that they have and the platform that they have, because I think if we don't put them in opportunities to recognize these things, they'll miss it, and not realize the impact they could have on people.
From football to like women's lacrosse to tennis, whatever sport you're in, you have this group of kids who love that sport and they look up to you. And so it's so cool that we can use that blessing to then bless them and be like, hey, let's dive into some books and influence them to make a positive impact on their life and live in behaviors that will help them.
Lives being changed, kids being inspired, all because of one man's love for reading and an athletics department with a heart for the community.
Wasn't that a great story?
Well, some really special moments being made there for sure. Well, if you can't get enough Liberty Athletics content, you are in luck. The geniuses in the IT department have developed a new app to feed your addiction.
Yeah, another reason to not hang out with your family. Make sure you download the Liberty Flames app today. You'll be able to access schedules, highlights, everything you need to stay up to date with the Flames. So once again, get on your Android or Apple device and download the Liberty Flames app right now. And while you're doing that, you might as well subscribe to our Flame Central podcast and check out libertyflames.com for all our Flame Central content.
Yeah, and go to our website as well, libertyflamecentral.com. All of our stories are archived for you there. If you're just getting bored one day, take a look. You can spend a couple hours just sifting through some of our absolute greats. She's Emily, I'm Rhett. We'll see you back here next week.
Thank you.